Hey people, when it gets cold out, I leave a window open for my friends, so they just come and go as they will. So y'all should find this funny. That last video on how to, I left off where I'd sprayed this spatter finish, and I got these walls primed. And so since then, I've got a coat of gray paint on the walls and some white ceiling paint on there. And I went ahead and knocked this hole out here. I needed to do this on the weekend when nobody was in the office, because I had to mount some corner bead and get some mud on it. So the window man told me he couldn't put a glass in this hole back here. He said he was going to have to separate it in half. And neither me or the owner was wanting that, so he got fired. He said his table wasn't big enough, but he's not the only glass company. And he was just going to set the glass in it. He wanted me to trim both sides around the glass. And all the trim, they're selling it by the foot. It's outrageous. You know, you're looking at $25 for a 10-foot stick of trim. So I decided I'd pick up some of these 1x2s. Usually you'll see them on up on the top of a fascia board, and they're just $3.48 for an 8-foot stick. And I can put a little sandpaper and paint on it, and that'll work just fine. So while I was picking them up, I had got this idea. I had these two 8-foot metal studs left over on the job, and I had this 2x6 I was using for a walk board. So this is a time lapse, probably about 15 minutes. I scratched the dimension on this 1x2 up on my surfboard rack and moved it over here to this 2x6 and dumped out this assortment of screws I got in this can. I got 20 of everything in there. I got a measurement from my surfboard rack down to the ground so I keep this clear a little bit. And I got a measurement to the top of the glass so I could tie it off. I set a couple runners where the top of the glass would go. And I added a couple pieces that would fold up to lock the glass in so it wouldn't fall out. And I stopped a minute to talk to the owner while he was leaving. Slowed me down a minute here. I had to go find a Torx head to fix these big screws. I wanted to put these in place where they would just swivel up so the glass company would think I did this before. I had a couple screws where it needed in some spots where it would torque. And then bam, walla bing, the steel erector, framer, sheetrock hanger, finisher, painter, plumber, electrician is now a glass man. So the finished product looks like this, and it's just hanging here on my surfboard rack. And it's an imitation of what a glass truck looks like. So I went to a glass shop that keeps oversized glass in stock, and they cut me a couple pieces down to size here. And so I set the big one on, and I put these cloths where the short one will catch so it doesn't scratch it. The glass man's helper was new at the job. He'd just been there a couple of weeks. We didn't trust him with the big one, so we let him break in with the small one. This glass man was also humbled. They don't like to think that anybody else could do their job. And then I just fold those two beams up and tie them off here, and I'm good to go. I'm good for the road. I back that right on in and block these doors open. And I got the body paint man. He's a big old dude to help me come set this glass in. So we got them both put in, and it took all of less than an hour and a half from the time I started framing it to the time the glass was in. so it was wise to fire the glass man. We got the glass like we want without a center beam in it. Then I disassembled my glass rack and cut the 1x2s up to trim around the windows. And I got them all cut to size, and I'll pull them off and sand them and prime them and put them back on. And I got the floor scraped, and tomorrow we'll start putting a new floor down. I've got to get these people and all this office equipment moved into their new offices so I can finish up this reception area and finish these windows and get some new paint and flooring here. Then I'll be due for a Florida vacation. I ain't had no time off in a while. So if anybody's needing anything done, just call 867-5309 and Jenny be glad to help you. Alright, good day.